Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coach's Corner, live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. I'm your host, Nate Mullins. I'm joined by my co-host and producer, Greg the Wizard Kinn. And today we have our special guest joining us this week, Ed Phillips, coach of the Seneca East Tigers. How are we doing, Coach?
Fantastic. Yep.
What a joy it is to sit with you once again, Coach. Once again, the Coach's Corner brought to you by your friends at Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Under the Surface Tattoo and Piercing Studio, as well as our friends here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. So, Coach, man, you guys are on a heck of a run so far this season. 3-game winning streak now.
Yeah.
Started out a little, you had some tough opponents to start the season out. Now, we talked to you a little bit before the season started, and then we talked to you a little bit before that Week 2 game, but how's things been going since?
Good. And it is a case of I do have to smile. Somebody with a Kerry shirt just came in. It's the first time in a few years I see a Kerry shirt. I'm like, oh, yeah. I told the kids before the season started that we had tough non-league schedule. And, when you have that, you say that, you hope it prepares you for the league schedule. And it did. There's no doubt about it. We came into the league 1-2. But having played like 3 really good football teams in some different conditions, and it prepared us for what we've seen so far in the league, and allowed us, I think, to get on this roll.
You talk about 2 of those teams, that Monroeville team, Gibsonburg, both those teams putting up a lot of points so far this season. Monroeville, 70-some points on the board last week. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow. So, you've had some tough opponents so far this year, and you've got a couple of impressive wins under your belt so far. Talk about that Kerry win. I know all Seneca East fans want to kind of revel in that for a little bit, but talk about how big that was for you guys, going on the road, knocking off the Blue Devils, and giving them their first regular season loss in the conference, 27 games?
Yeah, it was fun because we felt like we had a really good football team coming this year and some kids that could make plays and win big games. But then eventually you have to do it.
That's right.
And, we didn't quite get it done against Monroeville. I think we learned a couple things in that game. And one was how to handle conditions. That paid off last week against Upper, because Upper is a really good football team. And, we came out and we handled the conditions and we did what we had to do on a night like that 2 or 3 weeks before that we didn't.
Yeah.
Then on, a few weeks ago against Kerry, we came out feeling the same way we did against Monroeville, and the kids made it happen, and the coaches too. Just, what a great night that was, and people working and you talk about kind of building a machine and getting the machine to work, all its different parts to work together. That's what happened that night.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Well, and it's fun when you see all those pieces and parts come together, and you're standing on a sideline, and everything you're calling is working. For the most part.
Yeah.
You've got some guys out there that are making plays for you. Now, coming into this season, we talked to you a little bit about your team, and you knew Nicholas Parks was going to take that next step this year. He was going to be the starter. Did you see the development that he's been under for the first 6 games of the year? He's been putting up some really good numbers, but also the composure that he's played with through these first 6 weeks. Did you see some of that in the offseason?
Yeah, we thought we had the pieces. We thought with not just him, but the skill we had at receiver and running back, and we felt like we could be pretty good up front, we could do things that we've done so far this year and be an exciting team to watch. And I think, to this point, we had a really good practice tonight. And, I told the kids what I've told them, all season long is now tomorrow night we just need to be better. And, that's the goal. And I hope that, we keep working to that point and keep getting better every day, and that on Friday night, every Friday night we have left that we can show that to the people watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got some skill position players. You talked about, obviously, the receivers that Nicholas has to throw to. Talk about Taylor Young, Bryler Beamer, some of these guys that have really stepped up this year.
Yeah. It was in June, and we were out on the field. We were walking through something, and, Coach Roofing, who coaches defense, looks and he says, one of the fastest trips sets in the state, Coach, because it was our 3 guys that were on the 4x1 at state last year. So he was, stating the fact that we got some dudes out there that can move.
Yeah, you really do,
and not just in a straight line, which makes it really entertaining and to watch and fun to coach.
And they're not just track players; these are football players.
They're my
you see a lot of those guys with track speed, and you're like, yeah, well, he didn't really put the pads on that well.
They're my guys. And they're dudes and everything, and they're really good kids too. They're a lot of fun to be around. They're good to other people, and that makes you feel really good. My little girl's sitting over there waiting on her food to come, and she's around me a lot at practice and stuff, and the kids on my team, treat her like they're like she's one of theirs, and that's when some things are right and things are good with the world in Attica, Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely. And things are right with the world right now as you guys are sitting at 3-0 in league play. Now, coming into a big game against Colonel Crawford, what do you think are some of your strengths that you guys have going into this game?
Our speed, and really our speed everywhere, not just on offense and skill guys, but defensively I think we're very fast, and we are pretty athletic up front.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball. We put some guys out there that at defensive line and linebacker that can move and make a lot of plays, and I think that's made a difference for us. It really closed the game out last week. In the fourth quarter, our defense they took over the game and ended it for us. And the defensive line in particular and linebackers, they put so much pressure on Upper in that last quarter and a half that there was some devastating hits and some real physical play that was fun to watch.
Now, I wanted to talk about that defense because you guys make a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage. Right now, 70 tackles for loss on the season for the defense. Is that something you guys preach? Just get in the backfield, get your nose in there, because I see a lot of teams kind of taking this weight back mentality and kind of wait for it to come to them. You guys are really aggressive with your approach. Is that something you guys teach? Just tackling behind the line of scrimmage, getting in the backfield?
We just have we have some athletes that can move. We just we let them be what they are at times.
That's key.
When they can move like they do, they're going to make plays, and they hustle. They just hustle their butts off. We had one play that wasn't a great. It was probably like an 8-yard gain for Upper, and we got kind of out of position. And our defensive end, Justin Ryder, spun out and he just hustled his butt off and made a tackle, like I said, for like an 8-yard gain. And I think they were in a pretty good second down, but then on second and third down, I think Jackson Gayhart and Ethan Schultz and Hunter Rathburn, they got 2 sacks in the next 3 downs. And those are just guys, they can run.
Yeah.
We got guys up front that can run. They like I said, we kind of turn them loose and we try to put them in a spot where they can make those plays, and they have.
Yeah, and your defense has been making a lot of plays this year. Now, obviously, this Colonel Crawford game is an important one, but every game's important.
Right.
You go 1-0 every week. I know your mentality, Coach.
Yeah.
We've talked plenty of times before. But, I mean, last week.
The kids caught me looking at Joe Idle.
Do we have a question here from a listener? All right, let's see. Let me check my.
Oh, my God, this is new.
We have a question from a listener. Colonel Crawford will be a test unlike any you've faced during this current winning streak. What will you have to do better this week than you have during the winning streak to keep it alive?
Just the same thing that we have done, I think. We've got to tackle really well, and we've got to put some pressure on them on defense. And then up front, it comes down to the simple thing. It ain't rocket science.
Yeah.
It's really not. We got to block well up front and take care of our assignments in every spot. And if we do that, then we'll be in good shape, and it'll be an exciting game on Friday night.
So you guys, so far this year, you've given up some yards on the ground. Mm-hmm. Rushing defense has been kind of a sore spot, and Colonel Crawford comes into the game. They're leading the N10 in rushing so far this year. What do you have to do this Friday to make sure that they don't get loose?
Yeah, we've got to be better up front. I mean, we've got to, some of those things that you mentioned in terms of our playmakers at defensive line, linebacker making plays, they've got to do that. There's no doubt. I mean, Colonel Crawford can run the heck out of the football, and they throw it pretty well too. But it's a challenge for us, and we feel like that what we've gone through has helped prepare us for it. And hopefully, we keep getting better here the next couple of days, and we'll throw it out there on Friday night and see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, Coach. Well, we got a little bit more time here to break this one down, but before we get to the rest of this one, let's take a step aside. Let's take a quick timeout. Don't forget, you're watching the Coach's Corner live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Please help us out. Share the video. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
At Heart of Ohio Sports, it's obvious. The first thing that comes to mind is sports. But we do a lot more than just cover live sporting events.
Go, go, go!
When we want to watch our highlights from last night's game, there's only one place we go. Heart of Ohio Sports.
Connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, but you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Welcome to your Legacy Federal Credit Union, your trusted community credit union for over 70 years. We're not just a credit union, we're your personal financial counselor. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union is a full-service financial institution tailoring solutions to your needs. Whether it's your first home or planning for the future, we're here to help you find success. Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, a legacy built on trust, commitment, and community.
Heart of Ohio Sports gives fans the access they want when they want it. And the athletes get the coverage they deserve. Our broadcasts are free, and they always will be. We don't hide behind a paywall.
When my family can't come to the games, they always watch on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Heart of Ohio Sports is owned by Mullins Entertainment and located inside Studio Squared in downtown Tiffin. The space features a state-of-the-art podcast studio, open for public use. Building a platform for creators is one of our top priorities. Stop down to Benchwarmers in Tiffin or call it in for delivery. Fresh cut fries, locally sourced ingredients, and phenomenal service. Give the Tiffin store a call at 567-268-9268 and place your delivery order now. Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Nate Mullins here with you. We've got the Wizard Greg Kinn on the ones and twos, and of course, sitting here with me is Seneca East football coach Ed Phillips. All right, Coach, we still got to break this one down. We got to talk about this Colonel Crawford matchup. Two of the best teams in the N10 right now. You guys sitting at 3-0 in conference play. They're 2-1, but they've got some ambitions. They want to right the ship after that loss, and they want to figure out if they're a playoff contending team or if they are a state contending team. Mm-hmm. So you guys going into this matchup, what's your mindset? I mean, that's a tough opponent, and you guys play them every single year. This N10 is such a gauntlet. I mean, it's just every year after year, they just churn out contenders. What's the mindset for you guys going into this one?
The same as it's been, but, we did feel like coming into the year that the N10 was pretty wide open.
Yeah.
And it was, kind of top heavy.
Yeah.
And I think what you've seen early is kind of evidence of that. So I mean, and a lot of people say it, but it's true this year that on any given Friday night, anything can happen, and I think that's the case. And you saw that when Mohawk beat them.
Yeah.
And now as you go into the season, as coach and as fans watching, you can kind of see stuff start to shake out, and there's certain questions you have, and a lot of people would sit back and say, what's going to happen when St. Gates plays Colonel Crawford? I guarantee you this, you're going to have a battle, and it should be entertaining. And if I was going to be somewhere on Friday night, I'd probably be in Attica.
Yeah, and that's why we're glad we'll have a team over there in Attica for the call. So you talked about that Mohawk game with Colonel Crawford. I want to get your impressions of Mohawk so far. Early on, obviously they had that week 1 hiccup with Calvert, had some guys kind of go out late in the game and kind of, whatever happened there. But they've been on fire since then. 5-0 since then, 3-0 start in league play. Obviously the big win over Colonel Crawford, and in very impressive fashion. They shut them out from the start of that game. Now, what's your impression of this Mohawk team? Obviously, we've got the Week 10 matchup on the slate for us. We'll be there for that one in Attica. But what's the impression of this Mohawk team?
This is the first that I got to watch them this week.
Yeah.
Because we obviously have the Colonel Crawford Mohawk game, and I mean, kind of knew it coming in. They're really skilled.
Yeah.
And they have some similarities to us. They've got a good group of receivers and quarterback and backs, and their offensive line is doing a really good job for them. And I think that you can see that same energy and same personnel has carried over to their defense. And Coach Daniel's always done a good job there. So it's nice to see them, because they had a tough year with the injuries and stuff last year. To see them kind of turn and be off to the start they are, and that's good for the league.
Absolutely it is. So with this Colonel Crawford matchup, obviously, on paper, you look at some of these stats, and it jumps out at you when you look at their defense. Their defense is very stout. They're only allowing about 70 yards per game through the air, about 48 yards per game on the ground, so just under 150 yards per game average on defense. That's a stout defense. What's your plan of attack? Is there any weaknesses that you see on film when you look at this team?
If I did, I wouldn't tell.
You wouldn't tell me.
On YouTube. Come on, man.
Almost caught him flipping. Almost.
I tried.
Too quick.
No, what do you think? What are some of the things you think you can exploit this week? What are some things you can take advantage of?
You know what? It's funny because you sit and you watch people watch a Browns game or any football game really, and they'll say, why are they doing the same thing over and over, this and that. Teams are what they are.
Yep.
Really good programs are what they are, and you go out and you do what you do. Colonel Crawford knows what we're going to do. We have a big idea what they're going to do.
That's right.
Everybody has an idea of where they want to go with it, but it's not like we're going this week and all of a sudden be a different team.
That's right.
And they're not going to be different.
Yeah.
We're going to come out and we're probably going to throw the ball a little bit. We're probably going to run the ball a little bit, and we're going to try to be really fast on defense. My hope and my belief in my kids and my team is that we've continued to get better every week.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, special teams, we hope that as you go through things that when you work on things, it's just like, I saw that basketball thing up there a little bit ago on the TV because, basketball is going to start pretty soon. This conversation makes me think of Michael Jordan. You don't ignore your weaknesses, you attack it.
That's right.
And we've attacked it. We've tried to do some things to make us better, and hopefully we do that on Friday night.
Yeah.
And if you're from Colonel Crawford and you're watching this, maybe we did put a whole new defense in for you. I don't know.
Maybe.
Jake, maybe you should change everything you're doing over there.
Change it up. It's still got time. So, Coach, talk about the leadership on this team. Obviously,
it's fantastic.
You got some leaders. You got some dogs. You say you've got some guys. So, what are some of the ways that they've stepped up leadership-wise this year?
They just, I met with them after the season last year in my room. And we had some pizza and stuff, and I'm talking about my seniors.
Yeah.
They kind of got, because you don't have to do anything with them. They just do it. When it comes to being at workouts and practice, they're there and they work their butts off. When it comes to treating people well, they do that, and that rubs off on the other guys.
Is that how you set the standard? Is basically through your players? The players do the talking more than you do now. I mean, you've got a well-established machine now.
I don't
so
know. It's like when I say they're my dogs, they're my dudes. But they're also like they're like they're my kids.
Yeah.
And they know me and I know them. And I'm around them an awful lot. I act a certain way, and I think they expect that from me, and they act a certain way, and I expect that from them.
Yep.
And it's kind of, we say family every Friday when we break stuff down, and I think it's a case of that. You know how your family acts, and,
That's right.
and you want them to act, and vice versa. And it's not work; it's fun. When you said that, they're fantastic. They are.
Yeah.
They're a wonderful group of people to be around and work with, and that town is a fun place to be, and that school
really
is a fun
is.
place to be, and wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Absolutely. It's talk about Tiger Nation. It's a kind of an insulated environment because everybody is just so. My son asked me, he's like, "Who was your rival when you guys?" We had everybody was our rival. Literally, everybody is our rival because it's Seneca East against the world over there, kind of. You guys have a family mentality. Everybody hunkers down, and it's a bunker. It's really like,
yeah,
it's Tigers against the world, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. Maybe it is. That's cool.
I kind of think of it that way, man. I think you guys have a really cool environment over there. I love calling games over there. The atmosphere, the environment for a football game on a Friday night is unmatched in this area. I mean, really.
That's nice to hear because that's how I feel. And we have to go beyond that. We have like substitute teachers that have come to our school, and they say the same thing about our kids. And that's a good litmus test for you. Do you really have good kids? And I believe that, and outside opinions, support that a lot of times. Pretty proud to be where we're from and have the kids we got.
Absolutely.
And now, I don't want to mean this in an insulting way at all, but I've always kind of looked at
maybe you
Seneca
shouldn't
East.
say it.
Hey, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. So how you take it is up to you, Coach. But I've always kind of looked at Seneca East as almost an underdog school, and that's why I feel like it's almost them against everybody, is because almost everybody wants to take a shot at the underdog and knock them out of the way, and Seneca East is always up for the challenge, no matter who they play against.
Yep.
Could be, Yeah, it could be. I mean, we believe in ourselves, and I'm oblivious to a lot of the world, and I don't really care about.
I know, Coach. Now,
you
being a track coach, does that help?
That's why I like our school.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of stuff in the world that's bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff at our school that's good.
Yeah.
And being a track coach helps. It's fun. It's a nice low key sport that is very it's also very football friendly. It's also I always tell the kids a good way to end your school year because it's practice are nice and short and sweet. And, what do we want to do? Make it bigger, faster, stronger, and have some fun.
That's right.
And we do. We get bigger, faster, and stronger, and we have a lot of fun in one of the most simple sports in the world. And really, football is more complicated because everybody's got to work together every single play. But the skills that it takes to be successful at both are the same.
Absolutely. All right, so, Coach, we'll talk keys to the game for this one. We have a segment every Friday during our broadcast. We ask, what are the keys to the game for this? Let's start with offense. What do you think your offensive keys to the game are?
Up front, we've just got to be really good up front in the run and pass game. We've got to protect well. They've got a good group of pass rushers, and we've got to be able to run the ball and be efficient in the run game and control the line of scrimmage there.
Okay. And defensively, what do you think your keys to the game are for defense?
Same thing. We've got our defensive line linebackers that play really well, and we've got to get a lot of people the ball because their backs, they're big and physical, and they got some speed, and so we've got to tackle really well.
All right, Coach. Any final thoughts here? Any shout-outs you want to give? Obviously, you got a little one over here that you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, my little girl came with me tonight. Yep.
She get a cameo?
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
She get a cameo here.
Yeah, come on. You want to be on YouTube, don't you?
My little girl, big Tigers fan here. All right.
That's awesome.
Enjoying the Benchwarmers food. We miss it now. It's gone in Bellevue. So.
Aww.
Yeah. So, give them a go Tigers, huh? Or not.
Go Tigers. You did great. Good job. Give me 5.
You can go sit
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
What's her name?
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn. Great job, Ashlyn.
And they got mini cheer this week, so she's excited about that.
That's awesome. Boy, it's going to be a heck of an atmosphere out there. You got the mini cheer out there too.
People there and getting rowdy. That's what stunk about last week. Is it's nice to go out and play a game in crap weather like that and be successful, but not as many people come out to the game.
Yeah.
But that is where I give a shout out to you guys. That's where this has become. This part of the sports world where you guys broadcast high school games has become nice because, whether it's bad weather or, somebody's grandparents, they can see it now.
I just had somebody, yeah.
And that's gold. People that live in other states, it's gold. And what you do is fantastic, and you do it really well.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I just had somebody come up to me last night at my son's game, and she said her son wheeled her up in a wheelchair. She says, I just can't make it to games anymore. And she says, I really want to thank you for what you guys do. It means a lot to me. You guys do a great job. I look forward to your broadcasts every week. So there's a lot of people out there that really take advantage of what we have, and I love doing it, and it's a passion project for us, and you can tell we put a lot of ourselves into this. So I'm glad to hear that everybody gets.
Well, my sister's a fair weather fan. I mean, she'll stay at home, and I don't expect her to come out on a week like last week, but she wants to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys have given them a mode to do that.
Well, it looks like it's going to be pretty good weather this Friday. So everybody come on out, pack the place.
Yes, fill the joint up.
Absolutely.
Right? Then go home, because the other thing that's really good about this is you go out, you play well, then you go home and stay up till 2 o'clock and you watch this thing again.
That's right. Watch all the highlights, screen record the good ones.
That ain't no lie. It's it's fun.
That's right. I appreciate it, Coach, once again. All right. Any message for Tiger Nation before we
be there Friday? Let's get loud. Let's get rowdy. And let's blow the roof off that joint in Attic, Ohio.
There you go. All right, folks. Once again, this has been the Coach's Corner live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. I want to thank our sponsors once again, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Drawn to the Surface Tattoo and Piercing Studio, as well as our friends here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. For Greg Kinn, I'm Nate Mullins, signing off here on the Coach's Corner. Once again, thank you to our coach, Ed Phillips, for joining us, and as well as Ashlyn for joining us, our special guest here today. Thanks again for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a great night, everybody.
My Berea, don't you know I've thought about you all day? Yeah, I've been longing for some beef and some consomme. Sweet Berea, this is surely going to my thighs. Well, I'm a hungry eater, and you surely caught my eyes. My Berea, I love you so. Oh, my Berea, Berea, I love you so. I love you.
How's it going, sports fans? It's game day, and the food is hot here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Before you settle in to watch the game, whether you're by yourself trying to figure out what you want for dinner, trying to figure out how to feed a bunch of people, why not consider some delicious grub from Xcaret Mexican Restaurant? Today, we're highlighting the birria ramen. That's right, I'll say it again, birria ramen. Oh my goodness, I think I just got my mic wet. How do you birria? I have to have a lime. And you're gonna get the best, juiciest limes right here at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Look at all that juice. So here we have the birria ramen. Oh, this looks so good. I'm digging in. I can't look at it anymore. All right, here we go. That should not be allowed to be that good. My goodness. Folks, get on over here. Get yourself some of this birria ramen. Let them know you heard about it on Heart of Ohio Sports. Why are you still watching me eat? You could be eating this right now. Don't you just want to dig in? I could eat this whole bowl right now. And I'm going to. But I'm not going to make you watch me do it. Tell you what, call in your order. Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Birria Ramen. The only place you're going to find this in town, folks. I'm telling you. This is a home run right here. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Whether you're a diehard fan rooting for the home team or you're just looking for some tasty eats for your game day treats, the Birria Ramen is our featured item here on this Game Day Grub segment, and you're going to want to call in your order now. That's right, call Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Mention you saw this segment on our broadcast. You'll get 15% off your order. Take advantage of this Birria Ramen special at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. Oh, and don't forget the queso.